Hi everyone, welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to be making a really easy fun fold card together. But first, I just want to let you know a couple things going on with Stampin' Up. Last week, they released their online exclusive. It's their first batch of products. They're going to do this 3 times a year. Many of them are already sold out. So they had 2 circle punches and one of the sizes is already sold out and I didn't buy it in time. It won't be restocked till April. All that to say, if there were products that you want, purchase them right away. If you don't want to have to wait for them to be restocked, some of them won't. It's just while supplies last. An exciting thing coming for the May annual catalog is they are refreshing the color collections. So even the core colors, they are going to remove some of the old ones, add in some new ones, maybe add in some past colors. So be watching for that. But I want you to make a note if you have already invested in the ink pad, go ahead and buy the ink refill because it's going to last you forever. And the cardstock, because as soon as those colors are released, people are going to be snatching them up and you may miss out. And I mean, it really is an investment when you buy those ink pads. So check those out. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right, let's get started on our card. So here's our fun fold card. It's got kind of a cool opening, very simple, very few supplies. Let me show you all that you need. So you'll need a half of a sheet of cardstock. I'm leaving this whole because I'm going to show you how to cut it and score it. You'll need a piece of white for the inside and then a square for the front, which is going to be your pop of color, and then a scrap for cutting out this scalloped thing. You're also going to need that same pop of color in ink. So like this is it. Choose a stamp set to go with it and some designer series paper. I'm going to be using the perfectly penciled designer series paper. Let me flip this over here. I've used this a lot, so this is all I have left. So it's just black and white, which is perfect for using these bold colors as an accent, which just really make a simple card, give that wow factor with like no extra work. So the last thing you're going to need is just a little scrap of paper that we're going to use to put our sentiment. Now I'm going to be using the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. You can use any stamp set for this card, like really. So you just need something that has some great sentiments for the outside and inside of your card and some cool image to just make a pop of color on the inside of your card. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp in black a sentiment here and we'll punch it out with our oval punch. Now, what's nice about, which will make it easier to punch this, is to use a paper that's way bigger than your punch so that you can use your hand to kind of leverage this around. And what I'm going to do, I direct my paper with this hand, make sure it's in the center where I want it, and I'm holding it down just slightly so I can double check my placement before I punch that out. Now, while we've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and take my pop of color, and this is real red, and we're going to punch that out, the scalloped part, and we'll glue this together for the front of our card. Now, grab the inside of your card. This is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. Oh, I cut my piece of grid paper too small. Let me put it this way. And we're going to take another sentiment out of that stamp set, and I'm just going to put it right here at the top. So for a true friend, you're an inspiration. I love the sentiments in that card. Okay, now I need my red. Here we go. Now, real red. And we're going to ink this up, this dragonfly, and put a couple of these on here. Now, this is one reason I absolutely love Stampin' Up. Their red paper goes perfectly with their red ink so that your card looks awesome. So you can see I stamped off my paper. I just think that makes it look more interesting. Instead of seeing the entire image, it kind of makes you wonder what's going on. Now, before you put your stamps away, go ahead and grab your envelope right now and just decorate your envelope with some of these images. One stamp out of the stamp set that is just gorgeous is this one, so I have to use it. And I want to give you some tips because this is a large stamp, and I find it easier to bring my ink to the stamp when they're large like this. Otherwise, I end up getting ink all over the block, which then gets on my paper, and then I get frustrated. So just ink up your stamp like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so now we have the sentiment for the front of our card, the inside of our card done, and our envelope done. We'll set these aside, and I'm going to show you how to cut the designer series paper. So you need a 3" by 3" designer series paper, and this does not need to be out of the same piece. If you like a different image out of your set for the focal point of your card, go ahead and choose that. And then for the rest of your designer series paper, I found it easiest to cut this by 3 3/4 and then cut it down to 5 1/4. Hold on, do I have that measurement right? Hold on, let's see, blah, blah, blah. 5 1/4, that is right, 5 1/4. All of these measurements are going to be over on my website, so you don't have to worry about them and me spouting off the wrong numbers. Also, if you're an email subscriber, you'll get this in your email on Friday morning. And if it's past the time that I've, sent that out, just go ahead and ask me for it when you're on my email list. Okay, so sorry, I'm talking too much. 3 3/4, then you're going to cut it down to 5 1/4. Now you're going to rotate it because you want, these are the panels of the front of your card. So you want them to be going this direction. And you're going to cut this at 2 1/2, which will leave you at 1 1/4 on this side. So, and if your paper has a direction, just be very cognizant of the direction of your paper. These panels are going to be going up and down like this. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how to cut your card base. You're going to take your cardstock and you're going to cut it at 5 1/2, just like normal. A normal card base is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. So you're going to save this aside for another card. And then on this one, you're going to thread it into your paper trimmer and we're going to score it. We're going to score it at 1 1/2 here. This has a scoring blade and a cutting blade. Make sure your cutting blade is out of the way and just go over that a couple times. And then we're going to score it again at 5 3/4 like this. Now you're going to take your bone folder and you're going to fold these inside. Now I like to put when you score something, it's going to have like a valley and a peak. I like to put my peaks toward the inside. That makes a better crease there. Now you're going to grab your designer series paper and decide which side you want to be up and put glue on the other side. Now, when you add your focal point to this card, you don't want to glue the whole thing down or you will not be able to open this. So what you want to do is just place glue right here and then center up where you want it and press it down. That is so much easier than putting glue on your card and then trying to find out where your focal point goes. You can see that no glue has squeezed through, so success! Now bring in your other things that we already made. So I am going to actually pop this up with dimensionals. You don't have to do this. You can glue it right to your card. I like mine to be kind of offset, so I am only going to put dimensionals. I'm going to put 2. And oh, goodness gracious, come on out of there. I'm going to put 2 kind of close to each other, leaving this without adhesive so that I don't glue my card shut again. So we're going to put this right here, and you can see that that still opens. And then throw this in the center. There, isn't that such a cool set? Let me show you some other color examples. So using that same concept, same color scheme, I decided to use Bermuda Bay for the cardstock and Bermuda Bay on the inside for the ink color. And using that same stamp set, same designer series paper, I just changed out the color scheme here and did something a little different, and it just has kind of a softer look to it. So I hope you give this a try. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. You can also hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified whenever I release a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.